that for this product to work, things need to happen quickly. So just running through the process here. So when we are approached with a requirement for insurance, we will need the following documentation. We'll need the underlying acquisition documents. So in the case of a share deal, the share purchase agreement, the disclosure letter or the disclosure schedule if it's available, and then the information memorandum, just so the underwriters have a feeling for what the target business is and what it does. In addition to that, the audited accounts of the target business are very useful. On the buyer side, if any due diligence reports are available, then they'll also be required. So once we're approached with the initial information, we'll prepare a submission and approach the insurance market. And as I said before, there are 12 insurers in the market. We will typically go to the 5 most appropriate, and their appetite really varies tremendously. Some have carved out a real niche in certain areas, and one of those would be intellectual property, for example. So once we've approached the insurers, we will hear back within 2 business days, and the indication will be an outline of what the cover is going to be and what the cost is. The underwriter can't commit to their exact coverage position at that time, but they give you a very good feel for what the cover is going to be.
Is there a cost for that initial indication?
No. So obtaining the indication from the market is costless. There's no cost involved in that whatsoever. And it's quick to do, as you can see there, and no cost is incurred. Once you have your indications, however, and you wish to move forward with a selected insurer, then they often require an expense agreement to be executed. Once we are instructed to proceed, we will require the following information in order for the insurer to conduct their due diligence. So access to the data room, a conference call between the insured and the deal team members. And on the last point there, the insurer may engage specialist external counsel. So back to your question on the cost, at this stage the insurer might say, I require you to enter an expense agreement for $10,000. If you buy the insurance policy, I'll waive the fee. If you don't buy it, then you're on the hook for my legal costs, limited to $10,000.
Now, the full due diligence, clearly they're turning around the initial indication quite quickly. The full due diligence, I imagine, is at least the time to get the final quote is a function of the size and complexity of the deal. But what would what's an average sort of time that it takes in order to get this formal quote?
Okay, so the indication takes 2 business days, typically. In terms of the further underwriting, insurers normally say 5 business days from being given the information, which is access to the data room, the conference call. They require 5 business days. But the quickest we've done a policy from receiving the first information to having a policy in place is 4 working days. So it is possible to move quickly, and the insurers can be really flexible. And Dan, I'm sure you would have heard from the discussions with your clients that in the past, one of the